Hey guys, it's Lauren. Welcome to my channel. So today I am so excited because we're going to be talking about Holy Grail products, and I just could not be more thrilled because I don't know about you guys, I am getting so sick of all this drama in the beauty community right now. I'm just like, can we get back to talking about products we actually like and we're excited about, and just who cares about all this like nonsense and what people are making? Like, we're all here for the same thing. We're here to talk about makeup and beauty products and just the things we love. So I think it'd be fun to just get back to the basics and talk about why we're here, what we love about makeup, and let's just talk about our favorites. And another reason I'm so excited, this is a collab video with Erin from Erin's Makeup Euphoria and Steffanie from brighterdarling.com. She also has a YouTube channel on here as well. It's crazy, they both live probably about 45 minutes from me. I've been following them both for a while, but I didn't actually realize they were local until recently, so it just kind of became a natural thing that we came to do a collab video. So we got to talking about subjects and we just thought it'd be fun to talk about our favorite product. So they're both going to share their favorites. Definitely check out their channels. Erin, you'll love her. She's just such an easy, cool chick to watch. Like, she's just so relatable. She always does these huge makeup hauls. She has a ton of makeup, so you know she knows what she's talking about, and you just instantly feel like you can really trust her opinion. So love her channel. She's great. And then Steffanie, she is just so talented. She does gorgeous makeup. Her makeup always looks flawless. I don't know how she does it, but she's just so creative and talented. She always does really thorough, in-depth reviews. I love her foundation wear tests, and sometimes she'll just sit down and talk about products and then show herself applying the products in the end. So I just like the style of her videos, and you have to go and check out her blog. Her blog is absolutely gorgeous. She's just so talented with that too. I don't know how she has the time to do all this, but yeah, definitely check out both their channels. I'm sure you guys will love them both. And yeah, we'll get right into it. So, and one thing I didn't say in the intro, I wanted to try and give a good mix of drugstore and high-end products from each category. So I'm going to try and do that. I think I have an option for both. I think there's one or two that I only have, like a drugstore or high-end, but I'll try to give a good mix of both. But the first thing, let's talk about primers. So this primer I absolutely love. This is the Becca First Light Primer. It's a purple tinted primer, and it has like a subtle glow to it, and it just brightens your complexion and evens everything out, and it just makes for like a smooth, perfect foundation application. This has been my favorite. I think I got this during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale last year, and I still probably have about 50% of this, so you really get a lot of product with this, and yeah, it's just a great primer. Definitely one of my favorites for when I'm wanting a glow. And then my other primer that I love, that I use all the time, this is the NYX Angel Veil Primer. This is great for smoothing out your pores. This is more of like a silicone primer, so I usually just apply this on my nose and on the inner parts of my cheeks where my pores are larger, and again, just blurs everything and makes foundation go on nice and smooth. This is an amazing dupe for the, what is that called? Oh, the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. It's just that like clear, thick silicone primer, but it doesn't give your face that like heavy pore clogging feeling that a lot of silicone primers can. So yeah, this is another one of my favorites. So these are my go-to primers. So let's talk about foundation next. So my drugstore pick has to be this Milani Conceal and Perfect. I have yet to find a foundation at the drugstore that is this high coverage as this one. It's just, you get the fullest coverage from this, and it's buildable to where it never looks cakey, it doesn't highlight your texture. It's just a beautiful foundation. It really covers everything. I love this so much. It can oxidize, so if you're gonna pick a shade from this, definitely go one shade below because it can get a little darker on your skin. But yeah, I love this foundation. And my high-end pick is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. This hands down is my like favorite Holy Grail foundation. I've tried a lot of things. I do like a lot of other foundations, but nothing really compares to this. This just gives the most like gorgeous satin finish, yet high coverage, but yet looks skin-like. I'm just always amazed that I can get such high coverage that it looks so natural. It just really sinks into your skin without sinking into pores, and it just becomes one with your complexion. So it's just a beautiful foundation. If you guys, I don't know if you've tried the Coverfx Power Play foundation, but it's very similar to that. That foundation, they say, is like a modern matte finish, which I feel like is slightly on the satin side, which is very similar to this finish. I would say it leans more on the matte side, but it gives enough of a satin finish where it looks like your skin. But it just looks so fresh and natural, and yeah, it's just a beautiful foundation. Definitely one of my favorites. All right, and then for concealers. So I have two again. My favorite drugstore concealer has to be this one from Makeup Revolution. This is their Conceal and Define Concealer. This has gotten a lot of hype. I'm sure you probably already tried this by now and you understand why there's so much hype around it because it's just so good. The best part about this, it's just so thick and creamy and it spreads nicely. I've said this before, but I hate when a concealer gets patchy and it's just hard to blend in. It applies beautifully, it becomes one with your skin, it creases slightly but not too bad, and it just looks really natural, and you get a lot of coverage from this. So yeah, this is one of my favorites from the drugstore for sure. And then my favorite high-end concealer, this was a tough one because first I picked out my Tarte Shape Tape, and I was like, that's kind of a boring pick because everybody knows how good Shape Tape is. But this one I feel like isn't getting as much love as it used to. But this is the Urban Decay Naked Skin. This is just so good. I think mainly because it's so thin. Like, you almost expect it to not give a lot of coverage because of how thin and almost like weightless and water-like it is on your skin. But they pack so much pigment into this. You really, it covers everything. It covers any darkness that you have under your eyes. I love it for covering my melasma on my face. It just has great high coverage for a weightless feel, which I love. It never looks cakey, and it's also peptide infused, so it's also good for your skin. So I like that this has a double benefit to it. So yeah, this is an awesome concealer. Definitely give this one a go. And then, all right, so let's get into, we talked about face products. Let's get into powders. So let's talk about setting powders first. So I have a brightening powder. I couldn't really match this with a drugstore one, but I'll tell you about this one first. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in the shade Diffuse Light. Their powders are absolutely gorgeous. I know they have a crazy high price tag, but it's so worth it. They just melt into your skin and just make your skin look flawless. They're just amazing. Hourglass really knows their powders. They're just so good. But this is in the shade Diffuse Light, and it has the palest yellow tint to it, so it can be really brightening on the skin, and it can conceal any like darkness and just really brightens and makes your skin glowy. I like Diffuse Light for underneath the eye because it's really brightening, so I like this to set concealer. And for a drugstore setting powder, where is it? Oh, I was using it earlier, that's why it's not in front of me. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So for a drugstore pressed powder, I really love this one by Wet n Wild. This is their Photo Focus powder, and I love this because it's so finely milled, and it just like the Hourglass, it like melts into your skin. It doesn't highlight texture. It's really lightweight on the skin. The only thing about this, so it's a baked formula, so I feel like it's really hard to like pick up the product, but it's kind of nice in a way because then you can't really overdo it with the powder. Sometimes with my dry skin, if I put too much on, it just accentuates like the flakiness and the dryness way too much, but it's really hard to overdo it with this, and it just looks really beautiful and natural on the skin. So this is a great drugstore option. One of my favorites. I use this all the time. And there goes the sun. Sorry about the lighting in this video. It's a partly cloudy day, so the sun might be going in and out, so sorry about that. But my Holy Grail setting powder that I wanted to talk about, this is, I don't have a high-end or drugstore option for this. This is kind of like right in the middle. This is Glossier's Wowder. This is hands down the best setting powder I've tried. I've tried a lot of them. So many of them just don't work for me. I just feel like they highlight my fine lines and wrinkles, they highlight texture, but this is the one setting powder I found that just kind of becomes one with my skin. So I always have those days where I'm like, oh gosh, I'm way too dry right now, I probably should avoid setting powder, but it's amazing. It really does not accentuate any flakiness. It just like absorbs into your skin. It almost like takes away the flakiness. It's just a really amazing powder. I'm not a Glossier rep or anything like that. You can use my code for 10% off, but I just love this so much, and I have yet to find anything like this. I've tried the Laura Mercier, the one that everybody raves about, and I just found that was so drying. So yeah, this is just one of my favorites. I feel like nothing is compared to this. Love this so much. Definitely one of my favorites. And okay, what else can we talk about? Let's talk about blush. Blushes are one of my most favorite things to buy. I just get so excited about them. I don't know why. I just feel like it's the one product at the end of your makeup application that just amps everything up and just makes your face look like you have a finished look. I don't know, I love blushes. But I have two favorites here. This is really hard to narrow down because I have so many blushes. I love so many of them. But the one from the drugstore that I really love is this one from Milani. This is their Tea Rose blush. One of my favorite parts about this is the packaging. It's just so pretty. But besides the packaging, it is just the most gorgeous blush. It applies so easily. It's not too powdery. It's not too creamy. You get just enough pigment from it. And the color is just so perfect. It's almost like your perfect neutral pink. Like, I feel like this would be great for any skin tone. You can build up the color. You don't get a ton of pigment right off the bat, so it's just a nice natural looking blush. I actually have it on today. Just really subtle and natural looking, enough to just give a flush to the face. So yeah, love this blush. And then my favorite high-end blush, it's another product from Hourglass. You just can't go wrong with Hourglass when it comes to their powders. They just know powders. They just make amazing powders. Both their blushes and their ambient lighting powders are just gorgeous. But this is the ambient lighting blush in the shade Luminous Flush. So this is like an icy pink, and it has some like ambient lighting powder swirled through it. So you get the most gorgeous glow from this. It makes you look like you're glowing from within. It's just such a gorgeous blush. Love this color so much. It's just so flattering. Yeah, it's just one of my favorites. And I don't know if you guys have seen, but Hourglass has minis now. So you can get their blushes for like 20 bucks, which I think they're full sizes. I want to say they're like $40. It's crazy. I always buy these when they're on sale during like the VIB sale, but yeah, they just have such an amazing formula. Definitely would recommend their blushes. This like lives in my makeup bag. I have yet to put a dent in this. As you can see, there's still like a little bit of hump to it, and I've had this forever. So yeah, they're long lasting too. You get a lot out of these. One of my favorites. Okay, and for highlight, two of my favorites here. The first one, I guess you can categorize Flower Beauty as drugstore because you can get it at Ulta, and the prices aren't crazy high. They're kind of middle of the road prices, but their formula and all of their powders are just insane. It's such a gorgeous formula. It's called the Shimmer and Strobe Highlighting Palette. This has 3 colors in here. Oh, as I drop the brush. But this has like a golden highlight, a pink highlight, and then more of like a champagne highlight. They're just so gorgeous, so creamy. I don't know if the lighting's too bright right now, but oh my gosh, look at that. They're so gorgeous. They almost give like that foil effect. They blend into the skin so nicely. They're just amazing highlights. I love this palette so much. I use this all the time. One of my favorites. And then my favorite high-end blush is from Mary Luminizer. This is such an old favorite. This goes way back. This is when I like first started getting into makeup. I think I was at Kohl's with my mom. I think my mom was off like buying clothes in a clothing section, and I was of course in the beauty section. But I ended up buying this compact from The Balm, and it had Mary Luminizer in there. It was like this itty bitty little pan in the whole palette, but I could not stop using that highlight, and I knew I just had to have a full size of this. It's just so good. I'm wearing this highlight today. It's just amazing. Like, it blends into your skin. It's the perfect like champagne color. I feel like it's complementary. It could be complementary to any skin tone. It's just so gorgeous. You can make it subtle, or you could like amp it up for nighttime. It's just so pretty. This is definitely worth the hype. I know everybody talks about this, but yeah, one of my favorites. I cannot live without this highlight. This is so good. Okay, next let's talk about mascara. So I have 2 here. This was really hard to narrow down too because I have so many favorite drugstore mascaras. I do have a whole drugstore mascara video if you're interested to see all my favorites, but I narrowed it down to this one from Catrice. This is the Rock Couture mascara. And this is so great because first of all, the brush is like really thick, and it has those like tiny little, like, what'd you call them, spindles I guess, or brush hairs? I don't know what you call it, but the little fibers on here are just like super skinny, but it's that plastic like rubberized brush, so you really get nice separation in between your lashes. You get length, you get thickening. This is just like a great all-in-one mascara. It lasts long, it doesn't budge. This is just one of my favorites from the drugstore. Great drugstore option. And then my favorite high-end mascara has to be this one from Stila. This is their Huge Lash Mascara. This has, I feel like this is like a middle, I don't want to say middle of the road, but this has both really great reviews and then not so great reviews. I feel like people either love this or hate this, but I feel like it's one of those mascaras you definitely have to warm up a little bit. You have to use it a few times before you fall in love with it. But once you get used to it, once it warms up on your eyes a little bit, it is just the most amazing mascara. It just makes your lashes just like fluttery and fluffy and so thick. You get the length from them without it being like spidery. I feel like that's the one thing with it. When you first use it, it can be really clumpy, but once you use it a few times, it just gives the most like beautiful like false lash effect. It's so good. It doesn't smudge. It's definitely one of my favorites. Love this. Okay, and let's talk about eyeliners next. So feel like recently I've been steering away from pencil eyeliners. I just do like a little bit of a wing nowadays, and I've been using shadow underneath my eyes. But when I do use eyeliner, I always go back to these two. And the one from the drugstore that I love is this one from No. 7. This is the Stay Perfect Amazing Eyes Pencil. This is just like a really nice, like intense black, really pigmented. It goes on your eyes really smooth. This never dries out. I've had this for the longest time and it still goes on just as smooth. Just a great eyeliner, doesn't budge. And then for a higher end liner, you can see my love for this because it's like itty bitty now, but this is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil. So it's no secret that Urban Decay has amazing eye pencils. They're all really intensely pigmented, they go on really smooth, they're just like some of the silkiest eyeliners I've ever tried, and they do not budge. Like, I see why they name them 24/7 because they really stay in place. I don't even know if they call them waterproof, but there's days I walk into work and I'm like, my eyes are probably looking crazy right now because my eyes are just tearing so bad. But this pencil never fails me. It always stays in place, even with tearing. So yeah, this is a great pencil, super pigmented, super black. Oh, this is the shade Perversion, by the way. I think this is their like blackest of black. So yeah, love this pencil. Okay, next up I want to talk about my favorite palette. This is the palette that I use probably at least 3 times a week. I just cannot put this down. I've had this forever and I just always go back to it. But this is the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics palette. This is just such a gorgeous palette because the shadows are gorgeous and you just have literally everything in here. You have plenty of cool tones, and I'm definitely a cool tone fan, so I love that about that. But you also have this like really pretty, almost like a brick tone brown. It's just so pretty. So I like that you have an option to warm up your look. You can get so many different looks out of this, and they're all mattes in here, which I love. I feel like I use a lot of mattes. Sometimes I just do like a pop of shimmer on the lid, so I like having a ton of matte options. And the shadow formula is just absolutely gorgeous. I know people rave about Urban Decay shadows, but I feel like not enough. They're just so smooth, so not like too creamy, but they're soft enough where they blend really nicely. I am not an expert by any means. I'm not a makeup artist, but I feel like when I do my eyes, I have it on today, I just feel like they blend so nicely. I feel like usually I have to sit there what feels like 20 minutes blending eyeshadow. I feel like with these shadows, it's just no fail all the time. Like, they're never patchy at all. They're just so smooth. They blend so nicely together, and yeah, one of my favorites. And this has been going on sale a lot, so I'm wondering if they're going to discontinue it, so definitely pick it up if you see it. But yeah, one of my favorites. I cannot get enough of this palette. Love it. Okay, next up I want to talk about my favorite bronzers. This one from Lila B, I know is crazy expensive, but I feel like is so worth it. People chatted about this and I thought, I don't know, I just thought they were hyping it up. I'm like, they're definitely getting paid to talk about this product, because there's no way, what can be so great about a $44 bronzer? Like, there's no way. But I can see why. You guys, this is such a good bronzer. This has coconut oil in it, so I feel like that's what lends itself to being so blendable and smooth. It just becomes one with your skin. It's just the most beautiful bronzer ever. This is the one product where after I'm doing my makeup, I like look back at a picture or whatever and I'm like, what was I wearing that day? Because I feel like my skin just looks so good, and it's always this bronzer. It just looks so pretty on the skin, and just definitely one of my favorites. It's crazy expensive, I know, but try to get it on sale. It's just super, super good. And the packaging, like, how cute. It's like a little skipping stone and it has like a lot of weight to it. So it feels like a luxe item. So you're definitely putting your money towards quality. This is just an amazing product. I love this. And as far as drugstore bronzers go, this was kind of hard for me because I feel like I have a lot of drugstore bronzers. There's just so many good ones out there. Like, I love the Physicians Formula, the Butter Bronzer, of course, everybody talks about. The Milani Baked Bronzers are so good. But this one by e.l.f., I feel like a lot of people don't talk about, so I wanted to give it some love. This is the e.l.f. Golden Bronzer, and I love this because it has 4 different shades in here. Like, you have your like cooler tone bronzer down here, more of a warm toned up here, and then almost like highlights on the side. I never use these individually, but it gives the most beautiful glow when you combine them all together. It's the most perfect shade of bronze. Like, it's not too cool toned, it's not too warm toned when they're all mixed, and the glow you get from this, just like the Lila B, is just, it's so pretty and natural looking. It's not too much glitter, but yeah, it's just a great product from the drugstore. One of my favorites for sure. It does not get enough love. So alright, and then for brows, I have 2 favorites here. This one from IT Cosmetics, this is their Brow Power Pencil. This is such a cool pencil because it's a universal color, and you get a different shade by how much pressure you apply. So the harder you apply pressure, the deeper in color you're gonna get. So it's really nice that you can kind of control how much color you want on your eyes. So it's a really cool product. and this does not move on your eyebrows. It lasts all day. It's just like really easy. I just love this for an effortless eyebrow application. So yeah, love this pencil. For a drugstore eye pencil, I don't have one in front of me because I haven't repurchased it yet. Right now I'm getting through my one from Makeup Revolution. I talked about this in my Makeup Revolution Hits and Misses pencil, so I'm using that up right now. But my other favorite from the drugstore is the one from NYX Cosmetics. I love both their micro brow pencil and their brow definer. The brow definer is kind of similar to this in the shape of it, but yeah, it just lasts all day, and NYX really does a great job with their eye pencil. So they're definitely my favorites from the drugstore. Okay, and then for a liquid eyeliner, so one is more of a recent favorite. This is I think it's called the Flick eyeliner from Makeup Revolution. This is the blackest of black felt tip eyeliners. It's just so pigmented on your eyes and it lasts all day, and the tip makes just for like an effortless makeup application. So I love that. This is a great product, and I love the packaging. It's like a nice rose gold like little bullet. It almost looks high-end. So yeah, love this. Great buy. And then another one of my favorites, oh my gosh, this is so old. The writing is like all smudged off, but believe it or not, this still works. It's still super pigmented. I'm embarrassed to say this might be a year old, but let's check it out. I've still been using this. Let's see how black it is. I should say what this is. This is the Stila Stay All Day liner, but check that out. It's so super black, and this is like a year old. This is an amazing eyeliner. It lasts the longest time. It's probably past its expiration date, but I don't know. I haven't gotten rid of it. But this is great because it stays all day. Like the name, it does not smudge. It's really black. And again, the brush is like really nice because it's a felt tip brush, but it's not stiff. Like it has some give to it. It's bendable. So just like the one from Makeup Revolution, it just makes for like a quick, easy flick of the wrist like eyeliner applications. I like this more than the Makeup Revolution because I find that this has longer lasting power. The Makeup Revolution doesn't smudge, but it almost, like the pigment isn't as strong by the end of the day, so it fades a little bit. But yeah, they're both really great, and yeah, I just can't live without this Stila. So let's move on to probably one of my favorite subjects in makeup to talk about, lipsticks. So I have my favorite lipsticks here and then some glosses as well. This was so hard to narrow it down. I don't know what the other girls are going to do, like if they're going to have a bunch of things from each category, or if they're going to narrow it down to one, but this was super hard for me. So I have like 3 of each category here. I have 3 lipsticks, 2 glosses, and 1 lip liner. So, alright, let's get into the lipstick. This is one from Bite Beauty. This is their Amuse Bouche formula. This formula is hands down the best lipstick formula I've tried. It's just so super creamy, and it just really, it's almost like a lip treatment as well. Like I could apply this to my dry chapped lips, and by the end of the day they're smooth and hydrated and the flakiness is gone. So I love that about this, and the color is just so good. It's like my perfect pinky nude. I'll do a little swatch here. It's not like too peachy, it's not too mauvey, it's just your perfect middle of the road pinky nude. So if you're a pinky nude fan, I think you would definitely love this, and the formula is just so good. They have some great lipstick. And another lipstick, this is another high-end one, but I had to mention this because it's just so good. But this is one by Marc Jacobs. This is called Sonic Truth. This is their lip cream formula. So I guess this is like a satin, I don't know, I feel like it's more like of a matte finish. I'm actually wearing it today. I'll show you how it looks on your lips. Yeah, it's just so good. It's just one of those lipsticks where like you don't even need a mirror for. You can always just trust the color you're gonna get from it. Again, it's just another perfect pinky nude for me. This one is a little bit more on the mauvier side. Let me show you this next to the Bite Beauty. It's a little lighter too, probably more on the true nude side, but I feel like it's not too light where I feel like I need a lip liner, so I just love the color. The formula is so smooth. It's such a gorgeous formula. I really want to add more Marc Jacobs lipsticks to my collection, but they're a little expensive, so maybe we'll have to wait for sale time with that. He has an awesome formula, and I just love the shade so much. If you guys watch Jamie Page Beauty, she talks about that shade a lot, and she's how I got into it, and yeah, she was right on the money with that one because it's, yes, such a good shade. Love that. And then a drugstore option. This is one of my favorites, maybe almost more than these 2 colors. I just like the color of this so much. This is by Essence. This is their matte formula. This is in 01. I'm not sure if there's a name to it. It just says 01 on the back, but I'll link it down below. But this is more of like a peachy nude. It's so pretty. It's like the perfect nude. It's more of like, I don't know, maybe more of like a spring nude for me, a spring like summer lipstick color. It's a little on the brighter side, but it's just, oh, it's so gorgeous. It's just like that perfect peachy nude. It's so pretty. I don't like a peachy nude that's like too on the peachy side. This has a little bit of pink to it, which I love. Such a gorgeous color, and you cannot beat the price of these Essence lipsticks. They're like $3. So yeah, this is a great option from the drugstore. One of my favorites. This is another lipstick that lives in my purse. Love this. Okay, and let's talk glosses. This one by ColourPop. I know it's not a true drugstore brand because you can't get it at the drugstore, but it's a great affordable option. So this is in the shade, it's from the I Love Sarah collection, and it's in the shade Curvy. This is like the perfect peachy, again with my peachy pinks, it's just the perfect peachy gloss. I feel like when I wear this I get compliments all the time asking me where I got this gloss, but it's just so pretty. It just has just enough illumination, like not too much where there's glitter on your lips, but it makes your lips look so shiny, so gorgeous. The color is so beautiful. And I notice when I wear this, at the end of the day, my lips almost feel more smooth. So I don't know what's in here, but I feel like, again, like the Bite Beauty lipsticks, it's almost like a treatment for your lips. So yeah, love this gloss. And my favorite high-end gloss, this is probably no surprise, I feel like everybody loves this gloss. This is by Buxom. This is their full-on lip cream in the shade White Russian. Again, another pinky nude, but it just looks gorgeous. I think over any lipstick color. You could probably even wear this over a red and it would just look gorgeous, because it almost is a clear gloss, but it just has just a hint of pink to it. So I just love it. It's just such a wearable gloss. I love the minty flavor to it. I love that it's like sticky, but not too sticky where it's uncomfortable, but it just has enough stickiness where you know it's gonna last. So yeah, love this formula. And you never get that like chunkiness on your lips. I hate when a gloss like doesn't fade nicely. This just, when it eventually does fade, it fades nicely, and yeah, you don't get that like, you know, look that it just looks like you ate a powdered donut. I hate that. It's the worst ever. So yeah, love this gloss, love the formula, and this color is amazing. Okay, and last but not least, this is like the all-in-one lip liner to me. This is by Wet n Wild. This is in their gel lip liner formula. This is in the shade, what is this called? Bear to Comment. So it's just the perfect neutral lip liner. It can go with so many different shades, but just your pinks, your browns, your more mauvier lipsticks, it just can go with like so many different colors. Lip liner is not a thing that I wear a lot. I'm usually like no fuss with my lips. I just like an easy lipstick that can go on, but if I want something to last, I love this lip liner. It doesn't feather outside of your lips, but it stays put. I feel like, I don't know, it's hard to find a lip liner that has that balance between a really soft lip liner that goes on smoothly but doesn't budge yet lasts a long time. So this is just that great like in between. It just goes on effortlessly and it lasts, and I just love this color. It's just the perfect nude. Definitely one of my favorites. This is probably, I think, the second one I own, just because I don't use lip liner that much, but yeah, I will definitely repurchase this. This is one of my favorites. And that's it. Oh my gosh, that's all we have. I'm kind of sad this is over. This is a really fun video. I just love talking about products I love, and I just love gushing about all things beauty and makeup and skincare. So yeah, this was just a really fun video to film, and thank you to Steffanie and Erin. This was so fun. It was so fun getting to know you guys, and I don't know, maybe one time we can meet in Center City or something and have a drink or 2 or 3. We'll see. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.